Hey guys, my name's Kent. Thanks for clicking. So I went ahead and did it. I bought a DK2. This is my Christmas present. Stands for Development Kit 2. Even though they stress that you shouldn't buy these unless you're a developer, and I'm just a wannabe developer, I had to get it. I've been debating it for the past several months and I decided to go ahead and do it. Still no release date for the commercial version, just that they're shooting for 2015. So it could be a year from now if we're lucky. So I'm gonna check it out and find out if it was worth it or not. I got a DK1 about a year ago for Christmas. I still really enjoy it, but there's a lot of demos being made that are not compatible with it, so I feel like I'm missing out. But I don't really want to sell my DK1 either because there's a lot of games that are compatible with the DK1 that aren't compatible with the DK2. So let's open it up. The Development Kit 2 differs from the Development Kit 1 in a lot of ways. It has a 5-inch screen instead of a 7-inch screen. It has a 5-inch 1080p OLED screen, OLED screen. It's a little bit heavier. It's got a power button here, and it's got a USB jack up here as well. Oh, it smells good. It smells like new DK2. Oh yeah. So instead of having a box like the DK1 has, it just has this little box here. DVI to HDMI adapter. Different adapter plugs for different countries. This is an HDMI cord and a USB cord, and they go into this little box. This power adapter plugs into that little box as well and goes into the wall. And this cord, it's like they've got two cords kind of braided together. The HDMI and the USB, a little bit disappointed in the cord length. The HDMI's got to go into the back of the computer. It looks like I'm going to have to even have less room to move than I could move with the DK1. Maybe I can get an HDMI extension cord. Yeah, it looks like I had a little bit more slack with the DK1. Well, quite a bit more really. It's nice that it's all one cable, but it's still not long enough for standing and moving around VR like I like to do. One of the main reasons I got it is because it has infrared LEDs underneath here. And the cord now, instead of falling off at the side, runs over the top of your head. It's heavier. It has that empty USB port in the front there, and all these LED lights. It feels like it has a thicker, sturdier case. Anyways, it's got infrared LEDs inside of it, and those infrared LEDs are tracked by an infrared camera that comes with it, and that can track your motion, your leaning and your ducking. Now it has positional tracking. So the DK1 didn't have positional tracking. It only tracked you on 3 degrees. You only had 3 degrees of freedom with it. Wow, it's got a lot of options with this camera stand here. It's kind of cool. They got rubber pads on everywhere. You can even screw it to a tripod. Here, the front of the camera looks like a mirror because it's really just supposed to pick up infrared lights. So I guess that's an infrared filter on there. Huh? The camera just pops off this stand altogether. You can flip it around. So yeah, the camera allows for positional tracking, 6 degrees of freedom tracking, except when you turn your back on it, because there's no LEDs on the back. Another reason I was debating on buying this or not is because it doesn't have 360 degree positional tracking, so there's no LEDs on the back of the Rift to be tracked by the camera. When you turn around and you lean, it won't pick up your position. They've already made the Crescent Bay prototype, which does have LEDs in the back, and that's probably going to be there in the commercial version because the PlayStation's Project Morpheus also has lights in the back. They get picked up by a camera for positional tracking by the PlayStation camera. So now I see this Crescent Bay prototype, which supposedly even has a better screen, a wider field of view, higher resolution, LEDs in the back. It's like, well, I don't want the DK2 anymore, I want the Crescent Bay. From what I read, they're not planning on releasing a DK3. Thank goodness, because I want them to release the CV1 already. Commercial version 1. On this USB camera, you've got a USB plug and a sync plug. So it comes with a pretty long mini USB cord here, about 10 feet. So one of these goes into the camera. Then it comes with this little sync cord as well, which I had no idea about this. But this is about a 10-footer as well. One of these goes into the camera. Looks like a little headphone jack almost. And then one of them goes into the little box that the power cord plugs into. With the power adapter, the HDMI, and the USB cord, I'll go into that little box that I showed you, that little box about that big. So let's plug that in. So before the Oculus Rift took up one USB port, now it takes two, which I'm okay with. I wouldn't mind it taking three. It's like it just came with two sets of lenses. Instead of three sets of lenses, it came with two. The DK2 as well has something called low persistence added to it. It's going to eliminate some motion blur and some judder and motion blur that the DK1 had. I'm kind of surprised it has an OLED screen in it. You know, at Best Buy we were just shopping for a new TV and they only had one OLED TV in the whole store, and it was like a 50-inch and they wanted like $3,500 for it. It was not a 4K. OLED screens are coming, so is the Oculus Rift. To minimize cable thickness, each DK2 cable is individually calibrated for maximum HDMI signal integrity over the length of the cable. As such, joining multiple HDMI cables via passive couplers is not recommended for use with the DK2, as the additional length is not compatible with this calibration. So additional length is not compatible with this calibration. I'll have to look into that more. It looks like the DK1 to me. 6. Oh wow. The position is really good. The position is awesome. I like the camera bounce. These little lines up here, they tell me when I'm gonna get out of the camera. That's really cool. I never thought they could have something like that. I'm gonna knock over the carts. Camera. Where's my body? Apparently, because of the less judder and the camera tracking, it's supposed to make people less sick. I'm gonna try to stand up now. Yeah, the field of view is a little bit smaller than the DK1, which with the DK1 had 110 and it has 100. Oh, you got cat hair in there. So apparently it's supposed to cause less motion sickness. But I already feel queasy. You really feel the sickness when you get outside the camera. The camera's not picking you up anymore. And you really feel the Alright, so now I'm going to try the Tuscany demo, the updated Tuscany demo for the Oculus Rift. Clearer. It's definitely, the colors are brighter. And it's clearer than the DK1. And the screen door effect is less noticeable. Definitely less noticeable. This is a 1080 screen instead of an 800 screen, so it's got 280 more pixels up and down. No, it's really nice and smooth. I'm getting some weird ghosting happening though. You take off your glasses in a 3D movie theater and you see the ghosting. I see it when I move my head, not when I'm just looking still at it. I don't see the judderiness now. I don't see the blurriness now. Be able to rock back and forth. Woo-hoo! That's pretty neato, boys. Pretty cool. The color, it's so much brighter. Oh man, I gotta figure out some way to extend this cord. This cord is not long enough to stand. Oculus, why must you try to keep me on my butt? I didn't want to be on my butt. Oh, I'm loving the positional tracking. It's so much nicer than the Razer Hydra. So much more accurate. It's so much better than strapping a Razer Hydra to your chest. Except when it gets out of the camera, then it's like, whoa, I'm not as blown away as I was when I first tried the DK1, but it's definitely an improvement over DK1. Alright guys, stay tuned for more Oculus Rift stuff. Some more DK2, got some DK2 games to play. Alright, take it easy, bye.